Hi everyone and welcome to the video. Hope you're all well. Today I'm going to go through some gesture drawing with Michael Hampton. Now, I really like Michael Hampton's work. He's a really prominent figure artist. You might have seen his work before. If you study a lot of figure drawing, it uses really fluid lines, and I'm really a big fan of his. And I think if you're learning how to draw characters and things like that, which I am, or just learning how to improve your gesture and figure drawing in general, I really recommend checking out his book Design and Invention. And it's really good for improvement if you can study his teachings, and I think you really improve really quickly. So today I'm going to show you, I'm just going to go through some gestures, just something I try and do for daily practice, and show you how I go about it, and try and sort of look at his style and things like that. So we'll just do a page of figures, and I'll just leave this as part one for the moment. So okay, let's get started. So usually now I'm around the start of the book here. Now usually what I do is I'll usually draw one, and if I feel like I don't get it right, then I'll draw it again, and I feel like this repetition has really helped me. Or sometimes I'll just do it a few times because I enjoy it. It's the whole process of learning. You have to really try and enjoy what you're doing. So sometimes I take my time actually, because sometimes that helps too. So now you notice with Bridgman, he uses a lot of sweeping lines and things like that, which I think he really is one of the best artists I know for gesture. He's really mastered it down to, it's one of his strongest assets, I'd say, and he uses these really nice wrapping lines as well. So really try and when you are studying this, try and understand what's happening, and he's doing things that, although we're drawing on a 2D plane, he's showing things in a 3-dimensional way, which is something really important to remember. So this is the first one is always going to be just loosen up, as you see here, trying to just get your arm going, and just enjoy it, and you'll find that doing these every day, you'll improve really quickly. Let's move on now to the next one. So when I first picked up Hampton, I would study it a lot. Actually I haven't finished the book yet. I'm actually in the process of going through it now and trying to go through the whole book. But what I would do is I'd copy all the gestures, and just every day I'd try and copy them and try and understand what was happening, and I'd do them multiple times, and try and draw them without looking, and I find that was really beneficial as well. So I'm a big advocate of being able to draw from memory, because it can really help your creative drawing as well. So I think that's really important to try and draw these multiple times, and then I think you'll surprise yourself as well when you do that. See here, some of these in the book are quite faded, as in because of I don't know if it was a photocopier or whatever, it didn't pull them through that well. So usually I just try anyway and try and fill in the gaps, and I'm kind of using the bad photocopy to sort of challenge myself to sort of fill in those gaps. You see here, these are really simple, and I just dropped a whole load of pens. But the lines are so fluid, and we should only really be taking a minute or two on these. You really shouldn't take too long. I might have to move down for this next one, it's quite longer. So I really recommend just being loose and just enjoying it, and then, you know, but don't feel like you have to devote yourself to one artist. I mean, you can look at many different figure artists and take things from all of them. The good thing I like about Hampton, especially in the first section of the book, where he's going about gesture and storytelling through gesture as well. He stresses about don't worry about proportion at this moment in time. Just focus on the shapes and the shape language and getting all that right. And if you can do all that, then you can see if the shapes are right or not, and you'll get used to whether the shape's good or it's not. So that's something important to remember as well. And I'm going to change pen because I really don't like this really thin pen. So I'm going to move. I have these dual tipped brush pens that I got. I'm going to use one of those. I've got this blue one, so I can move on to that, which is a lot thicker. So in fact, I'm going to use the other side. Don't mind me. Okay, so let's see. So this one here, you see the head comes in, and then we've got this sweeping line here, and then this is where, I really like how he simplifies things. He really makes it easy to break down. But some artists, it's a bit more difficult. Like Bridgman, for example, can be quite difficult to follow. It is quite old school, a lot of his teachings, and that can sort of, I love Bridgman. I think his drawings are absolutely fantastic. They're so structured and have so much solidity. But the issue is just it can be a bit confusing. Some of the terminologies he uses, some of the methods can be tricky. But if you're just starting out, I think Hampton is just, he's just fantastic. This is another really faded drawing here. I'm going to try my best to sort of fill in the gaps. So feel free to do these along with me as well. Open up this cupboard and you'll find a ball of everyone inside.